If you were to ask scouts 6 months ago who they thought would go first overall in this upcoming draft, I doubt many would have said Joe Burrow. Many would have said Tua, some would have guessed Justin Herbert, but I doubt many would have actually given Burrow a second thought at this prestigious position. Burrow's meteoric rise is something of legends. A guy that was forced to transfer schools after losing a quarterback competition to Dwayne Haskins, all the way to leading LSU to an undefeated season in a crazy statistical year. Now that we are close to the NFL draft, it's getting pretty obvious that Burrow is going to be picked first overall. Unless the Bengals do something absolutely moronic, that much is set in stone at this point. In this video, I wanted to go through his traits, what I like, what I didn't like, just so you get a better understanding of him as a player. We're going to start this breakdown looking at Burrow's accuracy. Accuracy, as I've said a number of times on this channel, is the #1 most important trait to a quarterback in the NFL. If he's accurate, I can overlook the vast majority of ills and issues just by the very nature of the position. This is the trait that Burrow excels in. He's remarkable from an accuracy standpoint. Burrow can make every single throw from the short to medium to deep, he leads his receivers into space, he throws them open when they have a defender draped over them, and he even protects his receivers on crossing routes when other quarterbacks just simply want to get them the ball. There was a play against Texas where the deep safety was lurking and he purposely threw it behind his receiver, but in a still catchable position, and it saved his receiver from getting absolutely hammered. There's a level of finesse to his placement. He understands where the ball needs to go in terms of placement, and he gets it to them almost exactly when it needs to get there. One of my favorite passes from Burrow that really showcases his accuracy came against Texas in the second quarter. Now, the funny part is that I'm actually a UT grad student, and I was at this game. I was sitting in the stands, and I, in person, watched Burrow put himself on the map after delivering a ridiculous performance against the Longhorns. Here's a play from that game that showcases what he did. Lining up in shotgun, the Longhorns were playing cover one man with the free safety deep. Up until this point in the game, they were playing a lot of zone looks, but wanted to switch it up in order to try to confuse him. It obviously didn't work. Burrow found his isolated receiver one-on-one on the right, saw how the defender was trailing him, and waited for him to break after he stacked his cornerback. As soon as he broke, the ball was out of Burrow's hand. Watch closely. The ball was placed towards the sideline, just out of the reach of the defender, creating room for the receiver on this throw. The receiver caught it and gained 20 yards on the play. Seeing this live was extremely painful, and I watched Burrow do this up and down all 4 quarters long. Before this game even started, I asked some LSU fans who were sitting near me what they thought of Burrow. Not a single one thought anything of him before this game, but afterwards, their entire opinion, just like mine, completely changed. Dude is such a good player. Outside of accuracy, the ability to operate a system, go through progressions, and have the football IQ to know where to throw the ball in the first place is extremely important. This is another area where Burrow shines. He's not a half-field or one-route reader. He can go through his progressions on time and within the confines of his offense. Where Burrow takes the next step above pretty much everybody else in this class is he's absolutely ridiculous level of improvisational skills. We all love the Patrick Mahomeses and Russell Wilsons of the world, and Burrow has this natural ability to move off script and create big plays. It's objectively his best trait. I just love how when the play breaks down, a new form of Joe Burrow emerges out of nowhere, and you have no idea what he's going to do next. Going through his film, some of the plays he made were simply incredible. There's no other way to put it. He would spin out of pressure, keep his eyes downfield, and he would accurately find his receiver for a big play. This play against Georgia shows exactly that. In the matter of 2.5 seconds, the play is broken down, and Burrow is forced to act. He steps to his right, spins back to his left, C-stick jukes back to his right, and then flings the pass down the field for a big gain. You can't make these plays up, and Burrow did them over and over again, even against the best defense in the country. Now, I can sit here and show you play after play of him creating these big off-script throws, and frankly, it would probably make for a pretty entertaining video. It's the reason why I lay so many of these types of highlights throughout the scouting report. It just shows how incredible a prospect Burrow really is. However, while he's insanely accurate and incredibly good at creating off-script, I want to list a few negatives that I saw while going through his film. Remember, this is just to give you a well-rounded picture and nothing more than that. Honestly, I'm going to forewarn you by saying that you should take these negatives with a grain of salt because I think they're all common issues and are definitely fixable at the next level. With that in mind, the #1 weakness I saw, and again, this didn't even happen that often, was that Burrow would occasionally take a sack when he didn't have to. Sometimes he would hold onto the ball for far too long when I just wanted him to throw it away. Even when just going out of bounds, he sometimes just kept it instead of throwing to the stands. He did get better at this as the season went on, but it's just one thing that I noted as I went through his film. The other weakness that I saw was that Burrow will sometimes underthrow a deep ball. From my point of view, this happened a few too many times and it led a defender back in the play when he simply didn't have to. These slightly underthrown passes would negate bigger gains, and they would also force his receivers to adjust, which he sometimes relied upon to create some of his big plays. Now, to answer the burning questions that you probably have, no, this isn't an arm strength issue. While it's true that his arm strength isn't elite, it's certainly far from bad. He has all the arm he needs to make every single throw on the field. However, he just doesn't have the Patrick Mahomes throw it over the mountains type of arm. And again, that's completely fine, it's just something we need to keep in mind. The other thing you might say is that these were still pretty rare and it only happened on occasion as he made some truly incredible downfield throws this season. And to that, I would 100% agree with you. This is simply an observation that if Burrow missed, it was usually he'd underthrow a deep ball or he would overthrow a bullet pass across the middle of the field. Both are very common misses, and regardless, Burrow is such an accurate quarterback that it honestly feels like nitpicking when I bring this up in the first place. Well, so far in this video, we've talked about accuracy, his insane improvisational skills, arm strength, and the fact that his football IQ is off the charts. I want to wrap up the scouting report by talking about his pro comparison. For me, and after watching him closely, he reminds me so much of Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo. Now, as a Washington Redskins fan that grew up rooting with all my soul and heart against Romo, I understand what it's like to get beaten by a fluke broken tackle combined with a perfect pass to a wide receiver. These memories still haunt me to this day. I see Burrow exactly like that from a playstyle standpoint. I think this ability is something that will make Bengals fans extremely happy to have him on their team. Speaking of the Bengals, Burrow is one of the single best quarterback prospects in recent memory, and at this point, I feel like Cincinnati should just announce to the world that they are taking him first overall. Burrow and Zach Taylor's offense is going to do some nasty things. Might as well make your intent and allow them to team up for a very long time. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. I just want to sincerely apologize for the lack of videos and general insights over the last 5 months. This time period for me has been extremely difficult from a personal side, and I just really appreciate all of your patience. If you're wondering, I got married, moved across the country, started grad school, did some recruiting for a job that I may or may not have due to all these COVID-19 issues, and again, I just really want to thank you so much for your patience. My goal is to get through a few more prospects up until the draft, and then afterwards, I already have a full slate of videos that I want to work on during this offseason. Thanks again, and if you want to find me on Twitter, you can follow me at Samuel R. Gold.